Hello everyone, welcome to the session. In this session, I would like to discuss about Java buzzwords of Java programming codes. Now let's see what is Java buzzword. So it is nothing but actually features of Java. Uh, Features of Java programming language, we call it as Java buzzwords. And now let's see what is the speciality of this Java programming actually. So Java programming main speciality is it is portable, it is very simple to understand, simple to write, and it is very secure when compared to other languages. And other than this, there are some excellent features which are not there in normal programming languages. So that's why this Java, it plays like uh, it became very like widely used programming languages because of this excellent features. And as I told, the features of Java are also known as Java buzzwords. So we are going to learn what are the different features of Java programming language. Now there are actually 12 Java buzzwords. Now let's see what are they. Like simple. First feature is it is very simple. Next is object oriented, portable, platform independent. It is secured, robust, architectural neutral, interpreted, high performance, multi-threaded, distributed, and dynamic. So these are the different features of Java. Now let's see these features in detail uh, one by one. Now all these features are represented in a diagram like this. So totally 12 features are there. Um, Now let's start with the first one, that is it's simple. So why it is very simple means the only thing is it is completely actually it's like similar to C++. So those who already know C++ language, they'll get some idea about this Java language. So they feel easy learning Java after learning C++. And the speciality of this Java language is it is very simple to understand and simple to learn also. And its syntax is also simple. And according to Sun Microsoft, Java language is a simple programming language because of some reasons. Now let's see what are they. First one, as I told, syntax is completely based on C++. So if C++, if you have learned earlier, then learning Java is very easy. And the next thing is Java removes some complicated features like pointers, operator overloading, etc. So we have explicit pointers and all those in normal languages. So all these are not there in Java. So it's easy to implement actually. And it also uses automatic garbage collection. So what does it mean is it will, using this feature, it can remove all the unreferenced objects. Whereas in other programming languages like C, we should have manually delete those references. Whereas here it is automatically done by this feature called automatic garbage collection. So all these features are making this language very simple. Now let's see the next feature, that is object oriented. So like your C++, Java is also object oriented programming language. Now what is object oriented? Generally you'll take any real world object, and for that object you'll if it is associated with some data and behavior, you will take it as object. And writing the program using objects concept is very easy compared to normal procedural oriented. So Java is also object oriented. So which means we can organize our software as combination of different types of objects that incorporates both data and behavior. Next thing is it is like it also incorporates some features of OOPS like object class, inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, and encapsulation. So all these are actually provided by Java also. Next is platform independent. The major like you can say the speciality, the major advantage of Java programming is it is platform independent, not like other programming languages which are platform dependent. So what does platform independent mean is you can write this Java program irrespective of the platform. So you need not worry about the different environments that you are going through. So here just observe Java is platform independent because it is different from other languages like C, C++, etc., which are compiled into platform specific machines, while Java is a write once run anywhere language, or in short we call it as VORA. WORA. So Wora means write once, run anywhere. So this is the speciality of Java. So a platform is actually the hardware or software environment in which a program runs, whereas Java runs on software based platform which runs on hardware based platform. So this is the speciality. Now let's see what are the components of this Java software platform. So we said that it is running in software based platform that runs on hardware based platform. So here it has two components. One is runtime environment, other one is application programming environment. So application programming interface, sorry. So this is the interface where the user is going to communicate with, and runtime environment is environment where your program actually runs. So when this Java program is compiled, actually it will generate a bytecode. Now the bytecode, whatever is generated, it is platform independent. Means you can run this bytecode on any platform. Whereas if you'll compile the normal C++ programs, when you'll compile C program, you'll get object code. So that code you can't execute on any platform. So you have to execute on a specific platform. Whereas here, the compiled program of Java generates a bytecode which can be run on any platform. So that's the speciality that is called as write once and run anywhere. So same program you can run anywhere. So it is basically running on different platforms like Windows, Linux, Solaris, Mac OS, etc. Now I'll just show you one diagram. So here the class file, whatever the class, generally you'll write the program in classes, right? So the class file can be like, if it is a different platform like Windows, Linux or Mac OS. Now this Mac OS will have its own JVM, similarly Windows and Linux. So the class file can be run on any platform by the help of its particular JVM. So this is JVM is Java Virtual Machine. So this is the speciality of that. Now let's see the next one, that is secured. Now Java is known best for its security. So how it is providing the security, and we also know that Java develop virus-free systems because there are no explicit pointers, and Java programs runs inside a virtual sandbox, virtual machine sandbox. Because of these two reasons, it is more secured, and also it provides three more concepts. One is class loader, next is bytecode verifier, and next is security manager. Now what is class loader means? It will load the classes into Java virtual machine only when necessary, and while loading it will see whether the classes are from local system or which are whether they are imported from any network system. It will verify that. If it is from local system, it will just allow it to import without any verification, whereas if it is from network source, it will just verify for any other virus kind of thing. So that is class loader. Next is bytecode verifier. So bytecode verifier will check whether the bytecode is legal or not. Next is security manager. Security manager determines whether a resource can access, such as reading and writing to the local disk. So it's basically checks the authentication. Next is this diagram. Just now let's observe this diagram. Now this securities are facilitated in this way. Just let's have a look on this diagram. Whereas C++, if you'll observe, C++ application is running in the user environment of operating system, means it's based on operating system. Whereas Java is running in the in its own running environment, which is there in operating system. Means here C++ is dependent on OS environment, whereas here Java is dependent on its own environment, not on OS. That's the difference. So that's why it's a bit secured. Next is robust. Now let's see what is robust. Robust generally means staying strong. So Java language is very strong because of a few features. Few already we have seen. Now let's see what are the major features which make it strong. Is one thing is its memory management is very strong. Next thing is it doesn't have any pointers, which make it very free from all the security issues. Next is it has automatic garbage collection, where automatically it will remove all the unreferenced objects instead of manually doing. And the next major thing is it has exception handling and type checking mechanisms. Next is architecture neutral. So what is architecture neutral means, here it doesn't depend on any implementation details. So means there are no implementation dependent features. So example is given in C program. If it is a C programming, imagine that if it is 32-bit architecture, then it should the data type occupies 2 bytes of memory if it is 32-bit architecture, and if it is 64-bit architecture, then it occupies 4 byte of memory. So based on the architecture, the memory is memory requirement is changing. But in Java, whether it is 32-bit or 64-bit architecture, whatever it is, it will occupy only 4 bytes of memory. So that's a speciality. That's it. That is called as architecture neutral. So it is not dependent on the architecture of your system. So this is another feature. Now let's the next one, that is portable. So portable, we all know. So it can be carried to any platform uh, without any problem. So that is Java is portable because it facilitates you to carry the Java bytecode to any platform, and it doesn't require any implementation of that. So this is one more feature. And the next one is high performance. So what is high performance mean is, Java is faster than other traditional interpreted programming languages because Java bytecode is close to the native language. Whereas, like even if it is closer to the native language, but compared to C, C++, it is a bit slower actually. But performance wise, it's a bit better. So it is still a little bit slower than a compiled language. Java is interpreted language, that is why it is slower than compiled languages. Next is distributed. Now let's see what is distributed. Distributed in the sense, it facilitates the user to create distributed applications in Java. Means you can what you call, so you can create applications which run on network, and you can retrieve the data from anywhere, and you can share the data from anywhere to anywhere. So that is distributed applications. And Java makes us to develop that window based network based applications. Now here, for that, examples are like remote method invocation and enterprise Java Bean are used for creating distributed applications, where the user will create distributed applications in Java. Now the speciality of that is it will allow you to access file by calling the methods from any machine on the internet. So you can either share your file from here to any other place which is far from this place, and you can access that and so on. So to develop such applications, you can use some features like RMI, EJB, etc. Next is multi-threaded. So we have already seen multi-threading concept earlier. So thread is generally a smallest unit of execution actually. It's a separate path. Now we have seen that multi-threading means executing multi-threads simultaneously, so that all the threads will do different tasks. To achieve multitasking, we will actually prefer multi-threading. So this multi-threading is supported by this Java. So and why because multi-threading, using multi-threading, you have so many advantages like we have seen earlier. So threads are actually they are lightweight, and they take less address space because each thread will share the same common memory area. Whereas if you take process, every process needs a separate memory location. So here that's why we'll prefer threads, and threads are important for multimedia web applications. Next is dynamic. So Java is called as dynamic language because it supports dynamic loading of classes whenever needed on demand. So you need not load all the classes in the beginning itself. You can load the classes only when you need in between. That is runtime, you can download it. And it also supports functions from its native languages like C, C++. It also supports dynamic compilation and automatic memory management, called as our garbage collection. So this is about one more feature of Java. So we have seen that totally like 12 features are there of Java, and these 12 features are called as together Java buzzwords. On the whole, they are mentioning the speciality of Java programming languages. Uh, so I hope everyone understood Java buzzwords in this session. Thank you all.